Guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. Today we're going to rank my kind of cards, the lowest skill cards inside Clash Royale. I picked out 8 of the lowest skill cap cards. Now, don't blame the player, blame the card. I use a lot of these cards. There's no shame in my game, so there shouldn't be any shame in your games either. These are just cards that are easy to pick up and have success with without having to really learn every single nuance of the metagame and the archetype. So without further ado, let's start with my favorite card, the most OP low skill cap card inside all of Clash Royale. Say it with me, guys. Say it with me. The credit card. Alright, so all jokes aside, starting out at number 8. Coming in at number 8 on our list is going to be the Lava Hound. So the Lava Hound, just like a lot of big tanks, a little foreshadowing into the rest of the video here, is going to be a relatively low skill card. You drop it in the back, you be prepared for your opponent to pressure you a little bit other lane, and then you just combo it with a balloon or a miner or whatever else you have in your deck. The balloon and the Lava Hound are a tandem that, let's face it, just don't require a ton of skill. Doesn't mean they're not effective. In fact, the Lava Hound is the #1 card in the game in terms of win conditions. They kind of jockey Lava Hound and Golem, and again, foreshadowing to the rest of the list. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 7. Now, what would any list be without Elite Barbarians? I wish I could make this a combo list and put Elite Barbarians Rage at the bridge. Truth be told, Elite Barbarians, to play them at a high level, well, you need an insane amount of skill. Unfortunately for Elite Barbarians and to the players in the hell zone of ladder, well, they're not contending with pro players playing Elite Barbarians in a skillful way. They're mostly dealing with them over-leveled, spammed at the bridge. I know a lot of you guys are probably nodding right now, kind of feeling the pain of the over-leveled Elite Barbarians, which have been a thing since the card was introduced to the game. Despite the rework to Elite Barbarians, they're still a nuisance, and let's face it, 6 Elixir, they just plop down and destroy. It doesn't require a lot of skill to play this card. That's why they come in at number 7 on the list. Coming in at number 6 is the Balloon. Balloon's an interesting card. It's not necessarily the most difficult card to play either when comboed with the Lava Hound or in one of those trendy new Balloon cycle decks. Balloon is a force to be reckoned with, but it's not necessarily the most skillful card in the game. You either put it behind the Lava Hound and wait till it gets to the tower, or you combine it with an Ice Golem or a Miner or Lumberjack and wait till it gets to the tower, preferably with a tank in front of it. That's about it. Easy peasy. That's the Balloon in a nutshell, right? I don't think the Balloon requires a ton of skill. All you gotta do is keep track of your opponent's air countering cards, make sure they're not in hand, and attack. That's the Balloon. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 5. Moving into the top 5, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring the big fella out. Let's bring the big fella out. It's the Royal Giant. Despite the rework of the Royal Giant, he's still a relatively low skill cap card, especially when he's as strong as he is right now inside the meta. He's one of the top win conditions inside the entire game right now, but he doesn't necessarily require a lot of skill to pick up and throw in your deck and use, right? You can either play him at the bridge, which is about 80% of the time, or you can just try to cycle 2 Royal Giants in the back of your king tower. Either way, the big fella gets across that bridge and he just starts unloading on the tower. Did that come out right? Either way, Royal Giant definitely deserves a spot in the top 5 of our low skill cap cards list. So number 4 is an interesting one. A lot of people probably would not include this card in the list, but I feel pretty passionately about it. Let me make a case to you guys as to why, and that is Freeze. Freeze is one of those sneaky, tricky cards. For a while, it ruled the meta. It dominated the meta. Do you guys remember the Freeze meta? It was frustrating as all hell. But then, hell froze over. Okay, the puns. Come on, Ash, really? Just stop the video, dude. No. Freeze is a interesting card, right? You have to time it correctly, but that's about it. If you surprise your enemy with a freeze, I've said it since day 1 of Clash Royale. Freeze is a card that you can put in the hands of a low skill player and it will allow them to be a high skill player, especially the first time they use it. You have one great counter in your hand to Hog Rider, you use it, and boom, surprise freeze, tower down, tower destroyed. That's all you need in one match with the freeze spell. That's why freeze, although you have to time it correctly, again, that's about it. You can take down the tower, it can make all-stars out of normal, regular, average players like yours truly. That's why freeze definitely belongs on this list of no or low skill cards. Alright, here we go into the top 3, and coming in at number 3 is the big daddy of all tanks. It's the Golem. I'm sure a lot of you guys predicted that Golem would be on this list. Again, to have high skill with Golem, man, you can get to the very, very top of ladder, and it's not to say that anybody who plays Golem, just like the other cards on this list, are low skill players. It's just a fairly low skill archetype. The general rule of thumb is the more expensive the deck, generally the less skill required to play it, to master that deck, and Golem definitely fits in that category, having the highest average cost out of any archetype inside the game. Now, the Golem is an interesting card. You plop him down, as long as he gets to the tower, as long as you support him a little bit, well, he's almost guaranteed 500 damage just by dying on top of the tower. Does it get any lower skill than that? All you gotta do is watch your back in the opposite lane, and boom, guaranteed damage. The Golem is, again, a fun card to play, a frustrating card to play against, and is no doubt he's on the lower skill threshold in the game. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 2. Number 2 is the big daddy of all spawner troops. It's the Barbarian Hut. Now, honestly, I probably could have included the Furnace or even the Goblin Hut in this list because spawners are generally and have always been considered low skill cap cards. Why the Barbarian Hut? Basically because it's the most expensive, and harkening back to what I told you guys earlier, the most expensive generally requires the least amount of skill to master. Think about the Barbarian Hut. You plop it down, and that's it. You get a nice steady flow of barbarians working for you the next minute or so inside the match. So not so bad for 7 elixir, but wait, it is bad. It's an awful card, and generally, it doesn't require a high amount of skill to master. I mean, what else is there to the Barbarian Hut to be worried about other than the placement? That's about it. So Barbarian Hut's definitely going to be in top 2 on my list of low skill cards inside Clash Royale. Let's move on to number 1. Alright guys, number 1, come on, it's obvious, right? The lowest skill card in the game is the only card that there's really no incorrect way to play it. The Royal Recruits. Royal Recruits is an interesting card, it's not a good card, but let's face it, can you guys do this? Put your finger up and go boop, boop, boop. That's about it. Placement is not that big of an issue. Oh, wait a second, Ash. Wait a second. Pause the video. We can now split them 4-2. Whoa. I stand corrected. A very high skill card. No, you can't even place them on the opponent's side of the arena when you get a tower down. Man, the Royal Recruits are definitely a low skill card. You plop them down and that's about it. You don't do anything other than just watch them march steadily towards your opponent's side of the arena. What skill is there required for Royal Recruits? I implore you guys to let me know in the comments below, and also let me know all the dozens of ways that I am an idiot and I am wrong about everything on this list today. Can't wait to hear from you guys. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you want me to rank in the next misguided ranking video here on CWA Mobile Gaming. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. A huge shout out to Clash Royale and to Bren Chong, my YouTube partners. Check out their information in the description below. Thanks, and as always, take care, guys.